It starts like any other Tuesday. The specific ritual of the morning coffee, the familiar chime of a work notification on the laptop. For Alex, it was a day deep in the flow of a project that mattered, a comfortable rhythm built over months of hard work. The world felt solid, predictable. Then a calendar notification pops up. The title is neutral, corporate, and sterile. Quick sync. There's no agenda, just an HR representative and a senior manager. Alex is rarely spoken to on the invite list. In that single, silent moment, a cold dread begins to form, a feeling familiar to anyone who has navigated the modern workplace. Some days start like any other, until they become the day your name is replaced by a number. The day you learn you're not a person with a history of contributions, but a line item on a spreadsheet awaiting deletion. For so many of us, especially in a world where 64% of Gen Z workers fear being laid off in the next year, this is one of our deepest fears. What happens when the job that defines you suddenly disappears? This isn't a corporate memo. This is the human story of what happens next. And if you've ever worried about your job security, you'll want to subscribe and join our conversation at GenShift, because this story is for you. 1. The abrupt end, a number, not a name, the shock. The meeting begins on time. It is brief, clinical, and hollow. The manager, looking slightly past the camera, reads from a script. Words like restructuring, optimizing for future growth, and difficult decisions fill the air, but they mean nothing. They are corporate incantations designed to create distance, to sanitize a profoundly human event. Alex tries to focus, but the solid lines of their world have begun to blur. The vibrant colors of the office, the faces of colleagues, the sense of purpose, it all starts to leach away, replaced by the flat, sterile gray of 1,000 identical cells on a screen. This is the moment of impact. Psychologists rank job loss among the top 5 most stressful life events, on par with divorce or the death of a loved one. It's not just about losing a paycheck, it's a sudden, violent severing of identity. The initial response is almost always shock, a profound numbness. Did that just happen? Alex's mind is a blank screen, unable to process the information. This is denial, the first stage in a well-documented grieving process, a defense mechanism against overwhelming emotion. In those first few hours, a part of Alex believes it's a mistake. They'll call back, they'll realize they need me for the project, but the deactivation email arrives. The laptop access is revoked, the digital umbilical cord is cut, and as the shock recedes, it's replaced by a hot, rising anger. This isn't just sadness, it's a feeling of deep betrayal. In the modern workplace, there's an unspoken agreement, a psychological contract. You give your time, your energy, your loyalty, and in return, you expect a degree of security and respect. A layoff like this shatters that contract. The decision wasn't personal, the manager said, and that is precisely the problem. It was deeply impersonal. The reality is that these decisions are rarely about one person's value. In corporate war rooms, they are exercises in data analysis. Spreadsheets are populated with columns for salary, tenure, performance metrics, and skill sets. A complex formula, a multiple criteria ranking, weighs these factors and spits out a list. It's a process driven by a cold, strategic calculus designed to satisfy shareholders and balance sheets. It has little room for loyalty, effort, or the human cost. In that moment, Alex wasn't Alex. They were a salary figure in a column, a skill set that was deemed redundant, a number that, when deleted, helped the company meet its financial goal. The animation of a person dissolving into a pixelated row on a spreadsheet isn't just a metaphor. It is the literal, procedural truth of how a modern layoff often feels and how it is often executed. 2. The identity crisis, navigating the aftermath, the struggle. The first Monday morning without a job is a deafening silence. The rhythm of life, once dictated by deadlines and meetings, is gone. In its place is a vast, unstructured void. This is the disorganization and despair phase of grief, where the loss of routine feels as significant as the loss of income. For many, our professional identity is our primary identity. It's the first answer we give when someone asks, "What do you do?" When that title is stripped away, the question becomes a source of profound shame. Alex feels this acutely, withdrawing from friends, avoiding conversations, and feeling the weight of societal expectations that equate employment with worth. And so the job search begins. It is a new, painful routine, animated in the mind as a dark, complex maze with countless dead ends. Each day is spent tailoring resumes, writing cover letters, and sending applications into a digital abyss. This is the bargaining stage of grief, a desperate attempt to regain control. If I just rephrase this bullet point, if I just add this keyword, maybe this time I'll get a response. But for many young professionals, the response is silence. Studies show that it can take 6 to 8 months to secure a new role, with the vast majority of applications receiving no human reply at all. Each automated rejection email, or the far more common lack of any reply, is another dead end in the maze, reinforcing the feelings of helplessness and hopelessness that define the next stage, depression. This isn't just logistical frustration, it's a psychological grind that erodes self-worth. A 2021 Harvard Business Review article found that 56% of professionals who experienced unexpected layoffs reported a profound sense of identity loss, with nearly half struggling with diminished self-esteem. Alex's internal monologue becomes a loop of self-criticism. Was I not good enough? What did I do wrong? This self-blame is a common reaction, but it's misplaced. The system is designed for this outcome. In a volatile market where Gen Z workers feel expendable due to their raw skill profiles and last hired, first fired, dynamics feeling disposable has become a generational anxiety. This fear is compounded by astronomical student debt averaging $77,000 for graduates and the looming specter of AI, which is expected to eliminate or reimagine many early career roles. The feeling is one of training for a job that might not even exist by the time you're good at it. In the darkest part of the maze, Alex feels utterly alone, but this is when the importance of a support system becomes critical. A call from a friend, a conversation with family, these moments are lifelines. They provide external validation when internal validation has run dry. They remind Alex that their worth was never tied to a job title. These connections are the first glimmers of light in the maze, suggesting that while one path has closed, others might exist, just out of sight. It's the slow, painful process of separating the self from the job, of realizing that what you do is not the same as who you are. 3. The rebirth, finding new value, the resilience. There comes a point of exhaustion, another rejection, another dead end. In the depths of the maze, Alex stops. They close the laptop. The frantic energy of the job search dissipates, replaced by a quiet stillness. This is the crucial pause, the moment of reflection that so often precedes real change. Instead of opening another job portal, Alex opens a blank notebook. On one side of the page, they list the skills from their old resume. On the other hand, they start a different kind of list, things they are genuinely good at, things they are curious about, things they enjoy doing even without a paycheck. This is the act of cognitive reappraisal, reframing the narrative from what I have lost to what I have. As Alex's focus shifts from external validation to internal inventory, the maze begins to change. The dark walls become translucent. New paths previously unseen begin to light up. The goal is no longer just to find another job like the last one. The goal is to build something new. This is the beginning of a portfolio career, a modern approach to work built not on a single fragile pillar, but on a diversified foundation of skills and income streams. It starts small. Alex takes an online course in a high-demand skill they were always curious about, like data analysis or AI literacy, leveraging platforms like Coursera or Udemy. They reach out to their network, not to ask for a job, but to offer their skills for a small freelance project. This first project, however minor, is a monumental win. It's proof that their skills have value outside the context of a single employer. It rebuilds a sliver of the confidence that was shattered. This is resilience in action. It's not about bouncing back, it's about learning and evolving. Alex begins to build a personal brand, optimizing their LinkedIn profile to reflect not who they were, but who they are becoming. They start a passion project, a blog, a small online shop, a volunteer initiative that allows them to use their skills in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. Each step, each small win is a pixel reintegrating. The faded one-dimensional row on the spreadsheet begins to reform, but into something different. A character that is more complete, more confident, and more adaptable than before. The layoff didn't just take their job, it forced them to discover their value proposition. The spreadsheet that tried to define them as a cost became the very catalyst that set them free. Conclusion. Losing a job feels like an ending. In a world where over 1.6 million layoffs can happen in a single month in the US alone, it's an experience that is both deeply personal and increasingly common. But as Alex's story shows, it can be a violent, painful, and necessary beginning. The modern world of work is volatile. Job security is no longer a guarantee, but your value was never determined by your job title or a line on a spreadsheet. A job is what you do. Your value is who you are. Resilience isn't about finding your way back to the old path. It's about having the courage to forge a new one. This journey of resilience is one many of us will face. What's your story of overcoming a setback? Share it in the comments below to help empower others. And for more deep dives into building a future-proof career and navigating the modern world, make sure you subscribe to GenShift, because the future of work is changing and we're here to help you build it.